Hello, hello. How's everybody doing out there? YDBT Daily coming at you. Yeah, every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today, we're going to talk about just the never-ending losses that Mustang seems to be taking. And Haggerty put out a video that is, I would think, the most relevant video that has been made by any of the comparisons, because it put the Corvette ZR-1, the GT3-RS, and the Mustang GTD up against each other at an American track. So that makes total sense, because that is probably something that's going to be more, I want to say, realistic. Nobody is going to take their car to the Nürburgring. Nobody's going to go to Germany. It does not matter. The Nürburgring stuff does not matter when it comes to United States cars. And nobody is going to be surprised at the outcome. But even Haggerty had some pretty interesting things to say about the GTD. And I'm telling you, if you waited for an allocation, you thought this thing was going to be badass, you thought this thing was going to be the next up and coming big thing, and then you got it in your garage, and then every other video that has come out since has been talking about how bad it is, you might look, the only thing you got is that the car will go up in value. It absolutely will go up in value. You will make money on it. You're not going to lose money on it, but you do not have a better car than a GT3-RS and a cheaper, faster, better in everything production ZR-1. And the ZR-1X still has not come out. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about a U-Drags episode that came out at the same time. What a great comparison. A door course with a Whipple that doesn't have kissing rotors up against a Model 3 performance. And I'm telling you, when you look at the metrics, it's just L after L after L after L. We'll talk about that and many more things, but not before Mr. Bill O'Reilly tells us to do it live.
Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
It does suck, but what does not suck is the sponsor of the show. Again, if you want to buy brand new parts, injectors, cold airs, and they recently, if I'm not mistaken, got an ultimate header partnership. D&H Performance, D&HPerformance.com. Check out D&H Performance. You get your ultimate headers there, your injectors, everything. I'm trying to work out deals on the backside so everyone can offer you great stuff. Scott Velgen. If you want some street wheels for your ride and you want some lightweight stuff so you don't want to sacrifice performance, you get yourself the lightweight series, Velgens. I'm going to go with the VF. Well, I have the VF5s. Got to get the tires, got to get them put on, but I have no time. So hopefully next week, we're going to be on forever. Get everything situated on the GT500. PMAS, St. James PMAS, the best cold air intakes, the best map sensors. You can buy a bunch of elbows and fittings and you name it to make your own cold air. Hit up Nick James PMAS, PMASMAF.com. Don't got cookies.com. If you want to get fat, you want to have a hot chick need that dough and taste her lotion. She's hot as fuck. Husband's way hotter. Don'tMakeOutCookies.com. Edible Dough. He gave away 3 memberships to Patreon last week. Thank you very much for being a supporter of the show. Partsfarm.com. Use Mustang parts. Use rolling chassis. He has a Cobra rolling chassis. Why would you take your car and chop it up when you could just buy one from Partsfarm.com. Total Solution. Rami's on Total Solution. F-150 shit. He's going to be going with Magnus and stuff. They brokered a deal, and I'm really happy to, again, making deals on the backside to help out the people. One of the most underrated things that I do is help people out, and nobody knows about it, but guess what? I'm going to tell you about it in Bellac Industries. If you want a fast boat, a car that looks like drug dealers run shit, you hit up Bellac Industries. They got boat shit, Motec shit, wheels, tires, F-150 fitments, BMW, Skylines, Lambos, Hondas, and Mustangs. Check them out if you want to support the show. And again, that's a big if. I understand half of you hate me, but you watch me because you are stans. You're going to go to richprince.com/YDBT. You're going to go there and get your YDBT hats, YDBT fishnet, trucker style. What happened here? This thing just kind of, oh, there, it got all fucked up. Dolo hats, shiesties, Shakes and Hate shirts and hoodies, Hush Money shirts and hoodies. YDB, this car is going to be coming up pretty soon. We just got the turbo kit off. Going to get final welding done, get it on. I guess I'm going to do all the wrapping and stuff. That's okay. Let's just get it here and get stuff done. ZR-50 shirts and hoodies, Booty Juice shirts and hoodies, Elote Juice shirts and hoodies, Amory, Snack Attack, Christmas sweaters, Winter Takeover, YDBT. Buy it for next year because it's pretty much over for this year. Save the manuals Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, GT350, S650, 85 to 86, 87 to 93, 13 to 8 videos, F1320, YDBT Amory, vertical, YDBT and Amory shirts, YDBT long sleeve, short sleeve, hoodies in American flag font. And again, as always, the stickers. If you want to support the show, I get a nice check at the end of the month. I like it. I like getting paid. Getting paid has always been a great thing. Let's say hi to the people here. And we'll talk some stuff about the Mustangs. It's already the worst selling Mustang of all time. We have maybe 13 days left to the year. It is the worst selling Mustang of all time, 2025, down 30% from 2024. 2024 was the worst, 30% less. You know what we're going to do to fix it? We should come out with a Baja Mustang that costs $120,000, huh? Why don't we do that? That's stupid. Yeah, that makes a total sense. Lemonade. Monty 540, J Switch, Clint Stroke, Nick Notch, Be the Best, Frank Donahue, one of on our TRZ23 comes out. I can't believe my voice lasts through the whole show. Cobra 460, fucking Shine Box, Robo Style Bag, Tacoma, Oliver, EPA Amory, 2000 MCR, D-Work Fox, Kim McAllister, J Judd, Jasso, Slow 99, JD Swag, T. Sikorsky, Cobra 460, Tennessee Valley Speed and Cruise, Crowd Killer, Brendan Horton, Jalen Rosano? Who did with the big old titty? What's going on? Renee, Rodney, Bryson, Culiacan. Bryson putting up the links, and his car now has fuel pressure and good voltage. He's good to go to make 1100 once he worked with Department of Booze. Semi-retired street racer amongst the load, Traculex, The Wolf, Joy Reyes, The Wolf, Stewart, Garage Bill Coyote. Oh, look, GTD taking another L. Paul, Anthony, Tristan Mazone, Yusuf, Kuliakam. What's up? Shout out to you and Corey for tuning my brother's 2012 GT500. Took it to the track over the weekend and ran a 10.6 138. We were very impressed since it's just a blower swap on E85. That's not that good. That's not that good. If it makes like 750, it should be going low 10s. Let's go. Get them driving up. Cornfed VABCH82. Is that a chick? No, that's a dude. Begalos, Juan Perez, Anthony, D. Kyle Tooth. Wow. God damn it, bro. Just like normal names, please. Anthony Reverend Racing, Coyote, CCW Fox, TR, Jay Walker, Mr. GT3-RS. The GT2-RS for 992 also is due out as well. The GTD ass beating will just get worse. Donnie Renfro. I said, Donnie, the instructions are coming in a little bit. Donnie, the adapter's coming. He's like, Alex, I think I know how it goes. I'm like, wait for the instructions. I know you're excited. Got a blower. I get it. There's a blower sitting in your garage and your wife's like, you're going to do this shit again? I get it. J-Math Maniac, EPA Amory says, welcome to the show to Drew 50. Drew 50, why do people call you Amory? Oh, bro, the lore of the Amory is undefeated. I just want you to listen to Jason Camissa of Haggerty, and he says everything you need to know about, I think this is Sonoma Raceway, the ZR-1, whooping the shit out of everything.
Oh, it's a win for the ZR-1, and that is a huge win. Not just because of how far back the two other cars are, but because this is a production car lap record around Sonoma Raceway. Earned clearly by GM because the Corvette was as fast or faster than the other cars in just about every segment around the track. That is how you get it done. Ty Schmei. Bravo, GM. Wow.
The Porsche is an agonizing 2.345 seconds behind, and that all came down to its lack of power. It was remarkably evenly matched to the Corvette in cornering and braking. The only place the Corvette's advantage shrank over the 911 were the brief moments on the way out of corners, where the rear-engine car was helped by its superior ability to put power to the ground. And then there's the Mustang. When compared to the Corvette ZR-1, there was no sector, corner, or part of the track where the GTD was faster. A little less clear-cut when you compare the GTD with the Porsche. The Mustang was quicker in a straight line, so it would start to catch the Porsche each time under power. And in the faster corners, like the hair-raising turn 10, the GTD's downforce helped it match or even slightly outpace the Porsche. Coming out of 10, the Mustang was less than a second behind the 911. But then it went into 11, the slowest corner on the track, and it lost a massive 0.6 of a second. It made some of that up on the drag race to the finish line, but ultimately finished 1.4 seconds behind the Porsche, 3.8 long seconds behind the winning Corvette.
The Corvette beat it by almost 4 seconds. Now, this line right here, guys, puts everything into context. Listen to what Jason says about the weight of the GTD. It is a mind-blowing stat.
Based on a big and heavy sport coupe, the GTD is closer in weight to an F-150 than it is to a 911. Well, I'm going to say that again because I think it bears repeating. The GTD is closer in weight to an F-150 pickup truck than it is the 911 GT3-RS. And then I'm going to say weight isn't everything.
I'm telling you, that stat right there should be alarming to everybody. And this is the reason why I've said Ford's lost their way. They don't know how to build Mustangs anymore. They don't sell. It's closer in weight to an F-150 than it is to the GT3-RS. And in that video, because we're talking MSRP, manufacturer's suggested retail price, the MSRP on the ZR-1, this is the rear wheel drive variant. This isn't the X. This isn't the one with the hybrid motor. This is not the one with 1,200 horsepower. This is the one with 1,000 horsepower. The ZR-1 can be bought, and then you can almost buy another one, as compared to the price of the GTD. That means you can almost buy 2 ZR-1s for the price of one GTD. So nobody can tell me anything about this GTD being good at anything because, number one, it is not a production car. It went to Multimatic, a Canadian company, so technically it's American, but it is a North American Canadian company, and then they just threw a Mustang up there, put all the best bells and whistles they thought would suit this car, and they came out with a basically GT500 on steroids. And then it got beat by a production, something that some guys make in Bowling Green, Kentucky. The Porsche, I'm not really going to talk about because it was let's just say underpowered, obviously, but it still beat the Mustang handily around that track. And I'm kind of blown away by that. So now let's talk about production vehicles because we are now talking about race car teams getting beat by production cars. Now, let's talk about 2 production vehicles. And we're going to talk about the dark horse on U-Drags versus a Model 3 Performance. And I'm telling you guys, the stats are going to make you laugh a little bit. Because when you look at these cars, in terms of stats, they're not that close. The GTD has 800 horse, 600 torque. The Model 3 Performance has, I think, 600 horse, 500 torque. And again, this is a production car with an aftermarket supercharger, a Whipple 3-liter Gen 6. And let's just show you what, again, the Model 3 Performance is slightly lighter, but 200 less horse, 100 less torque, and this has a blower on it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, we're off. And we've left the Mustang for dead. Now.
Okay, race is over in America. Like 99% of the races you're going to have on the street end right there. Light to light, 1/8 mile, or 1/4 mile.
Not too bad, not too bad. Let's get him. Let's get this thing stopped.
Now, let's look at something that I didn't notice until I watched the video 3 or 4 times. There's an in-car camera in the Model 3 Performance. Remember, it's not a outright performance vehicle. It's the best Tesla can do with the Model 3. But look at the camera shake when the Tesla slows down versus when the Mustang slows down. Okay. Again, we got to watch that again. The Model 3 Performance slowing down with an in-car camera versus the Mustang.
Let's get this thing stopped.
And right there, the Mustang made up most of its time in the braking.
Get it stopped, get it turning. Right.
Come on, Dark Horse.
Get it turning now. Bang on the power. Ooh, a little bit of oversteer.
Okay, boom. So let's say you're on the highway and you go 3, 2, 1, no, 1, 2, 3, and you floor it because you're coming out of the turn, and let's say you do a 40 roll. The Model 3 Performance is ahead all the way until the last, I want to say 100 feet.
Here we go. Oh, yeah.
Boom! The Model 3 Performance is ahead still.
It's going to be very, very tight.
Still ahead.
Catch him, catch him, catch him, catch him. Come on, Tesla. Come on, Tesla. Now the Mustang's coming.
Still ahead.
Oh, we're going to get him. Oh, we're going to get him.
1.5, maybe 2 cars, Whipple supercharged, aftermarket, 200 more horsepower, 200 more torque, and they're calling that a fucking win. I am embarrassed for the team Mustang. If you're a guy right now at Ford HQ and you're responsible for Mustang shit, you should just bury your head in the sand, right? You should be like, God damn, we are getting cooked everywhere. We got cooked by a Model 3 Performance up until, and the only reason we beat it is because we had an extra 200 horse on it, and it took us all the way until the last 100 feet to pass it. It beat us on the quarter. It beat us in the 60-foot, eighth, quarter, and some of the roll. A Model 3 Performance that costs what? $55,000, $65,000? What's a Dark Horse go for now? 80, high 70s, and then with a Whipple kit, and then all other nannies, probably another $10,000 to $12,000. So basically a $100,000 car versus a $65,000 car, and it barely beats it. This has been a really bad week for Mustang and Ford in general, with the $19 billion write-off because of their EV mistake, the GTD getting cooked everywhere. I mean, tune it all you want, throw twin turbos in it all you want. It's not beating the ZR-1. Then Brooks from Drag Times goes out there, runs a 9.2. And again, this is on pump gas. This is on pump gas. This ZR-1 is not tuned, not tunable. And it makes the power it makes, it runs the number it runs, it has the performance, and it's all doing it on pump gas. Twin turbos, 22, 23 PSI with a 5.5 liter flat plane crank, dual overhead cam motor. It is, these are dark times for Mustang. So now they're pushing out spy photos of a new GT500. Boy, nobody gives a fuck, man. Nobody gives a fuck because it's going to be $110,000 to $115,000 to $120,000. Like, nobody gives a fuck. Even if it's all-wheel drive. What's it going to weigh? 4,150 pounds? 860 horsepower? Boy, nobody gives a shit unless it has twin turbos, hybrid, like literally Billy Badass, and the price can't be more than $120,000. Impossible. If they do it and pull it off, maybe that'll be cool for the super high-end market. But Mustang sales keep declining. Mustang, the lure. You have no competition, Mustang. You have no competition. They're putting you up against electric cars, and they're taking your race car and putting it up against a production car. This is just the saddest time to be a Mustang fan. And I am a Mustang fan. But I'm not stupid. I see what's happening. There is no upside to owning a Mustang nowadays. There is no upside to owning a 24 and up Mustang nowadays. You're better off fucking with the old shit because 1, you can probably afford it. 2, there is no better performance, maybe a little bit better transmission control on 24 and up Mustang and 21 up F-150. But that's it. There's still going to be hardware limitations for the motor, and there's still going to be hardware limitations for the transmission when you turn up the wick. But maybe there's a little bit better transmission control. But for what? $60,000 for a premium GT and $45,000 for a bare bones piece of shit that nobody wants? I don't think there is a upside in buying a newer Mustang, and even the audience agrees because it is 30%. It sold 30% less units than 2024. Am I wrong? And if you think I'm wrong, you're wrong, because this is just the biggest example of how far Mustang has fallen with no direct competition, no Charger, no Challenger, no Camaro, and it still gets its ass beat everywhere else. Sad times. This is sad time to be a Mustang fan, and I 100% understand. I'm a Coyote fan at this point. I just disowned any new Mustang stuff. I don't like rah it. They're trying to sell RTRs for $100,000 RTR. Justify that, please. A GT with a Whipple with splattered on paint and gay wheels. And they're saying, that's a $100,000 car. The nerve of these people. Unbelievable. We'll talk about it. Oh dear, the brakes. Sunday drives versus Kentucky Derby. I'll never care about an EV appliance. No, you don't understand. They basically showed you that Tesla's second most popular, it's the most popular. In terms of performance, their third best performer, because it's the Model S Plaid, the Model X Plaid, then the Model 3 Performance. They're third, and it's an American car company, so you should give a fuck if you're rah-rahing America, dipshit. If you're rah-rahing America, you should give a shit about the Tesla. So, the fact that their third best performing vehicle almost beats the dog shit out of an aftermarket equipped best Mustang that they can offer right now, the Dork Horse, you should be embarrassed to be a Mustang fan, and you should not go on any page ever and say anything. And you know the crazy thing about the Shelby cucks? Besides sitting in the chair and watching someone ram their wife, they sit there and cope with this. Oh yeah? What about the Code Red? What about the Code Red? You mean the aftermarket vehicle that is built by Fat House Fab with an FFRE motor, Motec, and twin turbos? That one? Is that what we're talking about, dipshit? Something that is not a production vehicle? Ford doesn't put out a Code Red. Fat House does. Drop it a like and I'll catch a replay. Keep doing what you do, Night Emery. They'll release the Halo Mustang, but they won't let it outperform the GTD anyway. Yeah, no, impossible that they're going to have a production car outperform the GTD, but you don't understand. Now, there are rumors that the new Corvette Stingray is going to have an all-new, even more badass V8 NA, like a 6.6 liter or something like that. Probably close to 500 horsepower, probably a mid to low 11-second car in the quarter mile. The DCT control seems to be halfway decent on bone stock. So imagine in the future they come out with a 6.6 liter E-Ray. That's like a 10.5, 10.4 car. I'm sorry. Ford is so far behind that I don't think they'll ever catch up to Corvette. And the only thing that they can stand on is that, well, Corvette's not our competition. Yes, it is. If both of your cars start with a 1 or a 2, $100,000, you're in direct competition with them. My wife's 10-speed Expedition has such a clunky transmission, it makes me happy I bought my Gen with an MT82. My hope for Donnie, see, Donnie's he's a married guy, he's got a family, he can't be affording $8,000 to $9,000 transmission repairs, and I can only do so much to help. So what I'm hoping is that the truck runs 10s, and we back it down to 11, 10 PSI and live a happy life. Go to the boat, drop off, get the boat in the fucking launch and take your kid to whatever. I don't want you chasing the number, Donnie. I need you to understand that your truck is going to be stuck at 1090s. Unless you can afford, I don't know, a 1.1 in case shit goes downhill because you're chasing that dragon. I wouldn't. I'm building an 88 notch Gen 2 Coyote 6-shift twin turbo, way better than the new shit and cost less. Garage build Coyote, I love you. You're not beating a ZR-1. Look, I get it. Cool that you're building a notch. So, those awesome performing Fox bodies. So you're a turning guy. I could put a set of a really good suspension, some lip, some aero on a Model 3 Performance and dog walk your shit. So you could say way better, but how? How is it way better? Like, you could arguably say that the ZR-1 is the perfect car if you can swing it. Right? Like, name me a 9-second Porsche from the factory. Jay Walker, let's go all the way. Name me a 9-second Porsche from the factory. Go. And I'm not trying to dig on Porsche. What I'm saying is, to build a 9-second car on pump gas, twin turbo, DCT that does everything the ZR-1 does, pretty tough. And you're definitely not going to base it on a Fox chassis out of all things. What are you going to get, a Grenada? It's a Fox. It's a Fox. It's a Fox. It's a Grenada with make it turn. Can't, all the maximum motorsport suspension and a torque arm. The fuck are we doing, torque arm? One of those super ugly teal and white Mustang GTs are a lot near me. It's nearly $70,000 for a GT. It's not Super Snake Quick, right? Whoa, what about Super Snake? Shut up. What about Cobra Jet? Shut up. Code Red is not even street legal. Unless you do like a Montana thing. By the way, I'm going to leave that for another show. That's an interesting subject matter. Yeah, the Grand Sport is coming. So, okay. 6.6 liter Grand Sport. Again, this is what Mustang has to fuck with. The 6.6 liter Grand Sport refers to rumors that, let me get rid of the logo here, refers to rumors and reports about the up-and-coming C8 Corvette Grand Sport expected around 2027 model year, which could feature a more powerful 6.6 liter V8 engine, part of GM's Gen 6 small block family, as a significant mid-cycle refresh, slotting in between the Stingray and the Z06 with wide body styling, bro. Offering powerful, naturally aspirated performance, this engine would replace the 6.2 LT2 and provide a substantial power boost, estimated around 525 to 550 horsepower, while maintaining the Grand Sport's traditional role as a track-focused, balanced performer. That's going to be a problem. So now Ford's going to have to put up with a Grand Sport, a Z06, a Stingray, a ZR-1, a ZR-1X. And what do they got? An EcoBoost, a GT. Again, we're talking production vehicles. We're not talking about the offshoot bullshit variants, the drift gay shit. We're talking about an EcoBoost, a GT, and a fucking dark horse. And supposedly maybe a GT500, Cobra, Boss, whatever, that is not going to perform better than the Grand Sport. Like, if the Grand Sport comes out and it has a 6.6, put that bitch up against the baddest motherfucker that comes out, the new Shelby, the new Cobra, whatever it is. Watch, from a dig, it eat its ass. It's eat its asshole alive. He'll eat it. He'll eat his asshole alive. It's crazy stuff. So, Jaywalker, 992 Turbo S is hitting 9596 stock. Okay, I stand corrected. So the 992 Turbo S is probably the most comparable to the Corvette ZR-1, right? But the problem is, in a straight line, it ain't got shit for it. Right? Meaning top speed. Top speed. But you're comparing it now to Billy Badass 992.2s. It gets worse for the Mustang. The Model 3 Performance is making 510 horsepower. There was a metric that I want to put up because I don't want to shortchange this, but there was a little metric where they had all of the side-by-side comparisons. And I want to show you the side-by-side comparisons in terms of the specs. And it was pretty alarming as to how overpowered the Mustang was compared to the Model 3. Where is it? Let me see if I could find it.
Horner. It's going to be halls right now.
Man, set this up for launching is we're going to put it in drag strip mode first.
Boom, 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 boom.
Close. Let's find out.
All right, folks.
Okay, come on. Where is it?
The Edmund watch with the charged, and here we, of course, with
okay
the 810 ounces against 4-pound.
There it is. Okay, this is a great statistic to show you guys, because you need to see how much of a beating the Model 3 put up against it. So obviously the powertrain, supercharged 5-liter, supercharged 810 horsepower, 615 pound-feet of torque. 510 to the Tesla Model 3, 554 torque, 1-speed direct drive, all-wheel drive. Base price $59,000 as with destination. Price as tested $90,000. The Model 3 price as tested $58,000. Weight, 4122 for the Mustang, 4,051. This is not even close. You want to talk about value? So you're telling me the Model 3 Performance is as quick as a supercharged Dark Horse? That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing. Now I get it. You're going to do E85. You're going to do a pulley upgrade, blah, 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 blah. But I'm telling you guys, it just gets worse the more you look into it. The Mustang is just having a really bad streak right here. 525 to 550 is not substantial, but they went EV for a year and Ford went downhill. They're coming out with a better version, which I think will kill the Mustang. Who did? What are you talking about? I'm not building a second road race car. Insert, I'm not gay no more. That's funny. Yikes, GM just beating the Mustang in every way. See, the problem is GM didn't have a great year either with EV stuff. Like, everyone's in trouble. Like, no one's doing great. But we're hyper concentrating on the shit we know here. And it's Mustang stuff and its competitors. Now, I suspect once the six-pack comes out, and I know, it's gay, whatever. The high output six-pack Charger, I guarantee will beat an NA Dark Horse all day, every day. And I bet you it'll put up a fight against the supercharged Dark Horse. Not a ton because the Model 3 Performance is really impressive. But a six-pack, 600, it's fucking 5,000 pounds. Just the weight, but the launch will be badass. But it'll be interesting to see what the six-pack, and again, I'm not touting that car. I don't give a fuck about that car. But you got to understand, the Mustang is being compared to sedans, and it's barely beating them. It's so bad. Theo, I sent the article to the main Patreon chat about the new CA Grand Sport and what it may potentially sound like. I'll pass on that. We'll do another show. Now, Turbo S is in a weird category. Not the best handler. It's a jack of all trades. The GT2-RS will get a modified GT3-RS body suspension, but a highly tuned Turbo S engine, the ZR-1 competitor. So the GT2-RS will be better than the GT3-RS because it'll get... Okay, got it. I get it. I know the lower the number, the better, I guess. 6.6, imagine what that thing will do with some boost as long as it has the bottom end for it. But with the 6.2s and the base C8's track record, I'm not so sure. So if Chevy decides to have a better set of rods in a Grand Sport, it's still going to be $125,000 to $130,000. It's crazy. It's in its current... Rhino93 says, in its current front engine rear-wheel drive configuration, do you think the Mustang has realistic chance to compete with the C8? No. Guys, you guys might think it's gay, but I've been talking about this for... How long have I been saying that Ford needs to come out with a hybrid all-wheel drive Mustang? I think I've been saying it for damn near 5 years. You know, I know JD, Swag, and Bryson are probably the best at this, but there has to be a origin date when I started really talking that shit about why doesn't Ford come out with an all-wheel drive hybrid Mustang? And then shortly thereafter, the E-Ray came out. And I said, well, let's see what happens. And then I saw it doing a four-wheel drift, four-wheel, long, massive donut. And the drift didn't impress me. The control did. Meaning there's torque vectoring, there's weird biasing back and forth. And I'm like, I think GM freaking nailed it. They nailed the all-wheel drive stuff. And then I started thinking, wait a minute. If they nailed the all-wheel drive stuff and I got turbo manifolds in my inbox in 2020, meaning I knew this C8 was going to end up turbo. I didn't think it was going to be 1,020 horsepower or 60, whatever it is. I said, if that E-Ray can get that motor, game over. And then you start seeing that the rear-wheel drive version went 9.2 at 153. So imagine that car with another 200 horse in the front wheels. If GM nailed the biasing of the hybrid drive where they can have four-wheel drive, a quiet drive for 10 miles or whatever, 10-second NA hybrid power, I said, bro, it's over. It's a wrap. They're so far ahead of the game, it's not even funny. It's almost like the race to make the bomb, right? Like we were so far ahead. Well, no, it was a race for a little while in the 40s. But no one really knew how far they were ahead. And then when Ford must have seen or must have heard, hey man, they're building an all-wheel drive Corvette over there at GM. No fucking way. How are they going to figure out where are they going to put the battery? This thing has a frunk. Where are they? No freaking way. And then you started seeing that thing and you're like, oh, wait. What if that car has another, I don't know, 600 horsepower or 500 horsepower? And the ZR-1X is going to be, I cannot wait to see ZR-1X numbers. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to be an 8-second car because at a track, it's weird. But if let's just say the traction control system interrupts the least it can because of the all-wheel drive hybrid drive, all you need is to improve the 60-foot a tenth and a half, like a 1.35 60-foot in a ZR-1X will make it an 8-second car at 155 miles an hour. I predict 1.35, an eighth mile of 5.7 or 5.8, and a quarter of 8.9 at 154, 155. Take that shit to the bank. I've been talking about a hybrid drive forever. What is this? What is this YouTube video? What is this YouTube?
What's going on, everybody?
Oh, come on. Give me a timestamp. The hybrid Mustang coming to a dealership next year. Oh, there we go.
Primary fit would be front wheels. Ford doesn't rule out the use of electrification to long LinkedIn.
Okay.
It says right here on the Ford primary fit would be front wheels. Ford doesn't rule out the use of electrification to the gearbox for the rear wheels either. What that means for a future Mustang with a manual transmission is up in the air.
Right. So 4 years ago, I talked about it. JD Swag put up the link. Shout out to you. 4 years ago, I talked about what a hybrid Mustang, and and I even said, do a 3.5 EcoBoost. And you're fucking crazy, Alex. Worst sales ever. Alex, you're crazy. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Nobody will buy. Nobody bought this Mustang. You guys thought there's no freaking way they're going to make a 3.5 twin turbo EcoBoost all-wheel drive hybrid Mustang. No one will buy it. Guess what? They got a Coyote 10-speed at $70,000 and no one bought it. Congratulations, stupid. Where's the focus group? You know, does anyone have a connection to Ford here? You know who does? What's his name? He must hate me. He must hate me because I talk that shit. He's like their social media guy, Cervantes. Hey, Marcus Cervantes. I think his name is Marcus Cervantes. He used to work at Roush back in the day, and now he works at Ford, like in marketing. Hey, can you get me a meeting? Can you get me a meeting with anybody? I mean, why have a show if you don't want to flex what the fans and the supporters can do? Like, give me a meeting. Not that I'm going to have any kind of input, but I'm like, I want to talk to anyone that, like, even if you're a mid-management fucking homo, like, you know how Ford is, right? Ford has 17 managers and you know, they all report to each other and circle jerk each other. And then they got more managers than probably normal employees. I guarantee it's a typical corporation. So get me a meeting with someone that makes some decisions somewhere. And I'm going to say, who is your point person to the aftermarket? Who's your point person? Who is the person that you go, you know what are the kids? Hello, kids. Hey, kids. Any illegal activities going on around here? Hey, Theo, I'm looking to get my first PMAS intake and Lun 2 for my Gen 2 GT, but you probably talked about the Pro, where you recommend their fender well over their short ram version. Either will work. Their fender well is better, just a little more difficult to install. Nah, not Chris Cervenka. Get the fuck out of here, Chris Cervenka. Sorry, but track day with the EV is way more gay than the Diddy clip. And call me gay all you want. I'll be ahead of your gas-powered shit. ZR-1X will be killer. Being a pessimist here, is there a reason you wouldn't try to get the same performance from an engine with a power adder and all-wheel drive versus hybrid powertrain? Being a pessimist here, is there a reason you wouldn't try to get the same performance from an engine with a power adder and all-wheel drive versus a hybrid powertrain? I don't even know what the fuck you're saying. That's the ZR-1X, right? Or are you saying, why don't they? Well, simple. The transmission and drive shaft. So if you have one engine with a power adder and you need to get power to all four wheels, you need a transfer case. You need shafts and CV joints going from the engine, transmission, transfer case, going forward. Or you could stick a battery in the front, instant torque, tons of control, no gearboxes. Basically, yeah, there is a gearbox, but not like a traditional, four-wheel drive transfer case CV joint situation. I think packaging is better for hybrid stuff. And you get the added benefit of having weight over the front wheels. See, I think there comes a point that that weight doesn't matter all that much. As a matter of fact, weight is probably in your favor when it comes to all-wheel drive. Like when you see really, like look, for example, look at what happens when you put 1,500 horsepower to like a Cyclone. It damn near jumps out the seat. Oh, well, it jumps. It's not stable. Then you do that to an F-150 and it's a little better. It seems to settle better. It seems to just dig at the ground and, it grips and it's the weight works for it. And once you're rolling, the weight isn't that much of a factor once you're rolling. But you got to get rolling. So if you're going to have a twin turbo 1,000 horsepower Corvette with a transfer case or a hybrid drive with the added weight of the battery, the gear drive, and have it separate from the motor and have its own control system work in conjunction with the traction control system, it's just the best of both worlds. I can't even talk anymore. Older Mustang for me, I could have gotten an S550 or a 650, but the Boss is the sweet spot. The Boss Laguna Seca, silver and red, bucket list car. Bucket list car, bucket list car. Everyone's overpricing shit. I'm the piece of shit Honda Prelude, $45,000 with a new Nissan Z Zismo. ZR-1X will be in the 8s, still running on 93 octane. Guys, you don't understand how impressive. Why do you have to build the car any further? Let's say you're like, you know what? I want to build a badass street car. I want to build a 7-second GTR that lives on Motec, ethanol 1R. It doesn't roll good. It doesn't stop good. It doesn't turn good. And something like a ZR-1X does everything on Marathon 93. I know he's not a part of your camp, but I'm not going to... again, it's not my thing, so it sucks that someone passed away, but I'm not going to grift off of someone's passing. It sucks, and let the people mourn. I'm one of those guys that let the people mourn, That's why I think Erica Kirk should have been in the house for 2 months before she showed her face, so it's weird that she's out there, smiling and shit. It's weird. I'd buy a V6 EcoBoost Mustang tomorrow. Me too. Gen 2, port and direct injection. Give me 500 horse off of that twin turbo piece of shit. 500 horse off of that shit. Wick it up, just like you did the Ford GT. Then hybrid drive the front wheels. Bro! No. Cobra. 4,200 pounds, $120,000. T6070. Definitely easy to make something all-wheel drive with the traditional driveline and 2 electric hub motors. I agree. Full weight, full bolt on. Here we go. I'm done. Full weight, full bolt on. E85 Gen 1 MTD2 car with a 350-pound driver. Yes, I know, I'm a fat ass. Running 9.7, 60 to 130. Would that be considered quick for the setup? Quick, not fast. He doesn't understand instant torque. See, I highly urge you guys to do the following. Seriously. Go for a drive in a Model 3, a Model Y, basic, dual motor, performance variant. Just go for a drive and have them do a dig. Okay, now put that in your memory banks. Now get in a Plaid, X or S. Have them do a dig at 100% battery. Have that in your memory banks. Then get in your 1,000 horsepower notchback. And you're going to go, my shit is slow on the street. If weight isn't a factor, how do you... Oh, my God. And I love them. And that weight is on the ZR-1X. It's concentrated at the bottom of the chassis, which is great. It helps for center of gravity. It helps for handling. It helps for grip. It helps for everything. Look, make fun of the ZR-1X all you want that it's $200,000 fucking dollars. For what you're getting for that money, you're getting a car with a faster top speed than a Bugatti. You're getting a car that runs low 9s in the quarter. You're getting a car that is DCT. You can control the slip on the launch. You can control a lot of things on that car on the launch. It's adjustable, programmable, and it does it all on pump gas. Stop it. Stop it. Stop. And it's a production car, and they're going to make a lot of them. Ford's mistake was designing the GTD as a front-engine car from the beginning. Chevy learned this on the C7 platform and adjusted. See, this is the problem. Corvette has always been chasing Ferrari. Corvette has never been chasing Mustang. Mustang has always been chasing Camaro and Dodge. They never chased the big dogs. When Ferrari went rear engine, right around the time that the C7 was a thing, what year was it? What year was the first C7 Corvette? I don't know. It says 2012, 2014. Okay. What year did Ferrari go rear engine? Okay, stop it. No, like modern. So, see, the problem is they had both. They had both. They had the F50 was rear engine. Yeah, that's kind of one of those weird ones. They had rear engines in a lot of different models, but a lot of the Ferraris, well, you know what? That's a great question. What made Corvette go, actually, if you look at some of the videos, they blame the fact that the C7 ZR-1 was so bad at handling that they decided to go rear engine. I thought I was making a case there, but not even close. Like the Ferrari has had rear engine forever. And then Corvette finally said, okay, we gotta reinvent the wheel here because we're getting our asses kicked and we are basically selling you the poor man's Ferrari. Our competition are the Italians. Our competition is not Ford, right? Corvette never looked at Ford and was like, yeah, we're gonna make a much. They were like, shut up. Now ever since the C6 Corvette, the C6 Corvette was out of reach for the Mustang guys. So you said our competition is Camaro. When Coyote came around, Camaro wasn't even an after. We were like, Camaro? Bro, we're aiming big because we can go boost, fuel 1,000, especially Gen 2. So people with Gen 2 were bullying Camaros that needed all the cam, all the stroke, all the porting, all the bullshit, and it wasn't really keeping up. And then it went out of business. Like, bye-bye Camaro, see you later, it's gone. Obviously, the Terminator had a lot to do with that, but that Terminator, I don't give the Terminator too much credit. It's just a powerful Fox body. So when Gen 2 came around, you were making 1,000 horsepower. So we're going to start bullying Corvettes. So the C6 and C7s, we were bullying them with a Paxton supercharger, ID1000s, and E85. So then the C7 ZR-1 came out, and it is a bolt-on car that can go 8s. But Chevy was looking at it as a whole. They were like, we want cars that do everything. We wanted to handle, stop the whole 9 yards. And the C7 ZR-1 was not a handling car at all. Front engine, all the power on the planet, 2,300. Oh, no, I'm sorry. If I'm not mistaken, it's 2,650 with an 8-speed. And it handled like shit. And then they're like, we got to do something because we got to compete with the Ferrari guys. And guess what? Once the C7 came out and you started seeing the performance numbers, the metrics, the quarter mile off of the base bitch was in the 11s easily, they had something. And then they just started pouring power to it and giving you different variants. And all of a sudden, it's, in my opinion, the best performing American vehicle, period, probably ever made. The C8 Corvette lineup is probably the best ever if you look at the performance and the metrics. 93 Ford Escort R's Cosworth. Stop. 458. They all chased Ferrari. Ferrari was rear engine, late 70s. Yeah, I started thinking about like Magnum PI, and I'm like, Jesus, Magnum PI was rear wheel drive. So what the fuck am I talking about? Ferrari was, yeah, exactly. No, they're mid engine. Okay, mid engine or rear engine? The fuck are we talking about here? GM had that funky Holden Ute body that really had the C8 chassis under it when the C7 ZR-1 came out. Corvette wanted to go mid-engine for a while back when the ZR-1 was first made. Didn't Corvette want to go mid-engine way back when the Serv 3 concept car was back in the 80s? The TR was the first modern mid-engine Ferrari, like 84. Gotcha. Thank you. I'm not well-versed on Ferrari shit. Not because I think it's gay. It's just way out of my price range. So I stick to what I kind of know, and that's kind of Mustang. The Dad and Plaid said, I like how in that video they mentioned how when talking about the GTD, Ford mentions Porsche more than the actual Mustang. Let's relax because it looks like It looks like there was an attack. I sat here for a bit and I'm like, wait a minute, it'll all come back, Alex. Just chill. It'll all come back. Apparently, OBS dropped off and came back. So Jim Farley I think it's Jim Farley. Like Jim Farley shut the stream down. Where's Jim Farley? You know what? Where's Jim Farley? Jim Farley shut the stream down. I'm talking all that shit.
For my next trick, I'll make the Mustang a compact truck. We'll call it the Cuckstang.
Oh.
Since the drift stick is a hit, we'll include it in everything we sell. F-350s, F-150s, everything. Fuck it. EO. We can't sell these pieces of shit to the public, so we'll let our UAW dickheads buy it.
No, wow.
Man, I could go for a stiff glass of anal sex right now.
Nah.
Take my ass, Elon Musk.
Exactly. So after they tried to kill my stream. See, man, I'm public enemy number one when it comes to Ford. Farley was a nut hugger for Porsche. And he went in there making Porsche its competition instead of your domestic foe, Chevy. Look, if you really want to get the internet stirred up, you really want to get people up in arms, you start talking that shit on Chevy guys. To this day, Chevy guys believe that you can make a 7-second LS live for $1,200. Like, they'll look at you dead in the eye sockets while having dirt bikes and old 40-year-old diesel trucks on their profile. They'll sit there and argue with a guy that is coyote swapping and twin turboing a ZR-1 and say, that's stupid. You can make a 7-second LS with $1,200. So this is all you got to ask them. Where's your 7-second 1200 LS? Because if it's that easy, why didn't you just take $1,200 from your EBT account and buy an LS and make it a 7-second car for $1,200? And that's when they shut the fuck up. And then one of them did the biggest mistake, the biggest faux pas. He goes, where's your 1,000 horsepower Coyotes? I'm like, the white one or the blue one? Ford has an opportunity to revive the Pantera to compete with the C8. Just don't ring out the EcoBoost drivetrain. But the Pantera was not a Ford product, right? Was the Pantera a Ford product? Was the Pantera a Ford product? Oh, yes. The Di Tommaso Pantera was Ford product through a major partnership. Ford provided a powerful American V8 and distributed the Italian design. So do that. That would be at least in line with what you've done before. So it would be historically accurate. It would bring back. Is there any Italian over there car that we can partner up with that already has a rear engine layout? Not the Ford GT. The Ford GT is a fucking loser. The Z06 beat the Ford GT. It's a fucking loser. Pantera could be sick, exactly. The Demon 170 with a 6.2 can't hit 1,025 horsepower without ethanol. And here we have the ZR-1 putting 1,000 horsepower on the dyno, still a 93 pump gas. The engineers behind this car are geniuses. We get a lot of recalls on the GTD motors due to oil tank. Really? Really, Big U? Stop it. Saw that Ford just canceled their Escape, which accounts for 20% of its sales. Number 2 behind the F-150. Damn, Parley did call Israel. I mean, probably. Hey, can you shut this guy up? He's talking truth about our cars. But a Junkyard 5.3 can go 7s all day, right? Jim Farley mentions how they barely beat Porsche in the ring to cope with the fact that they can't beat the ZR-1, hence why they're taking it back to the ring for multiple runs with different chances. Where have they been? Remember when he said, oh yeah, it's game on. It's game on. I'm going to take this car to the ring. It's game on. Where the fuck are you at? Unreal. I don't get it. Knowing Ford, they would ruin that shit with some hybrid bullshit. Wait, what are you talking? Sebastian Delgado. The E-Rays hybrid bullshit. Hybrid is good. Hybrid is good. Stop thinking hybrid is not good. You keep the motor powerful. You supplement the power output by having a battery pack that powers the front wheels. Stop thinking hybrid is gay. Hybrid is not in the performance world, it's not a dirty word. F1 has hybrid. Gay? Does the Mustang survive beyond the S650? Yeah, unfortunately it will. It's So there are certain vehicles. Okay. I think the S650 is like Costco pizza. You don't make money on it, but you get people in the door, right? Like Costco pizza, they don't make money on $1.50 slice or $1.50 hot dog and $1 Pepsi, right? They expect to lose money on that, but they get you in the door so you can buy the 55-inch, 72-inch, 4K, 8K smart TV for $2,100. But they'll gladly lose $1.50 and a buck on a Pepsi and a pizza, $2.50, to get you in the door. I think the Mustang is Costco pizza. Get you in the look at those cars. Whoa, they're so pretty and they got weird colors. Let's just pull in and see what's going on. And then wives who shouldn't vote are in there going, honey, they got really cute cars here. They have a Mustang that looks like something I would drive. Really? Yeah, it's a SUV. And you're like, oh, that's gay, but it's a Mustang. So then the salesman comes out. What's up, guys? Just made a new batch of popcorn and blew up some balloons. You guys want to come inside and maybe take a look at some vehicles and run some paperwork? And then you are now stuck in the black hole of dealerships. Oh shit, I can't. You're in the event horizon. The event horizon of a dealership is right when you get past the first line of cars. And it's like a gravitational well you cannot escape. Like your body starts stretching and you start going towards the popcorn. And you're like, oh, what the fuck's happening? They got hot cocoa over there and popcorn? Yeah. Oh! Then the wife sees the SUV Mustang. And she's like, oh my God, I didn't know they make Mustangs for us ladies too. They don't. It's a fucking piece of shit. Right? And then the guy sees that you're a cuck-ass hoe. And goes, oh, is this your little lady? Yeah, wouldn't you like a bright blue Mustang in your driveway that you can take the kids to soccer with? Right here. Check it out. This baby will run something about kilowatt or whatever. If you charge it, it'll only cost you $50 a charge and it'll last you 3 days. Honey, you always said you wanted a Mustang. Why don't we get this right? I'll divorce you. Yeah, fucking sandwich. Sandwich? Then once you go in and smell that popcorn, it's over. Well, you want some popcorn? We ordered pizza. We blew up some balloons. Heaven forbid you have a kid. Mommy would look really cool in the blue gay SUV that says Mustang on it. And you're like, fuck! Costco pizza. Costco pizza. Get you in. You have that nasty pizza. Who the fuck knows where that dough came from? And you're like, hey, it's $1.50. It tastes as good as a $1.50 pizza could taste. What's that? What do you mean? What's that? Well, that's 5 pounds of mayonnaise. You know, I do use a lot of mayonnaise. It's stupid. Then he slams the hood. Nicest cars are always closest to the building or inside. I don't want to buy from another dealership. I'm building my next daily. Lotus has always made a small, great handling cars for desperate for money, and I'm sure they can make something work for Ford if they pay. Amirs are here. That's not a bad thought. Lotus vehicles. Lotus vehicle lineup. This hurts. Ouch. I mean, $95,000. Jesus, images. Okay, let's look at Lotus cars. What the fuck? Oh no. They're all tiny. The Evija. What the fuck? Introducing. Hey guys, Jim Farley here. We're gonna be okay. Configure. Okay, let's see what's there we go. There's your new Ford. There's your new ZR-1 killer. Oh fuck, this went to a third-party site. Exterior, okay. Okay, configure. I just clicked configure twice. Holy shit. How about motor? Accent, pinstripe, wheels. Oh, they're all gay. Oh, okay. This is all right. With some F-14s in the house. How about, where's the Bellax though? Do you know what I'm saying? Neck category. Fuck the interior. Previous category? How about motor? Yo, this is whack shit. What it? Evija. Lotus, Evija motor. Fuck it. I'll get the fuck out of here. The Lotus Evija doesn't have a traditional engine. It's a pure electric. Get the fuck out of my face. Give me the... How much can you get Evija rollers for? Yo, buy that shit. You just spent $19 billion on a failed EV project. You can't afford an Evija roller? Dipshit. Lotus is actually nice as fuck, but they're expensive. Even better on a Leaf. Could you imagine? This pizza's pretty good, but it's not like pizza on a leaf. Pizza on a leaf? Yeah, pizza on a leaf. Technically, in the Green Emissions Initiative, BS does it. Okay, technically, in the Green Emissions Initiative, BS doesn't drive a hybrid car. I don't know. You just do the way you worded the sentence just pissed me off, and I don't want to read it anymore. I could get an eco tax break for owning a sports car. Why does this guy's wife sound like a Muppet character? Because they're all Muppet characters, okay? The moment you marry them, they get fat and they stop wearing jogging pants. I'm like, what happened? I thought you was always wearing leggings and looking good and going to the gym at 5 a.m. and then coming home making me sandwich. Now you're just chilling, watching The View. I mean, Hennessy used the Lotus. Let him slide up the ramps into people's pockets. Lotus used Camry engines from memory. Problem with Lotus has always been they're not built for men over 6 feet tall. Win for Lotus. Introducing the Evaj. Right. That's what I thought. Coyote swapped Lotus' Spirit. Too expensive for a Camry. Sorry. Someone Coyote swapped the Lotus Emira. Someone did or someone should? Just me, or does the back half of that GTD Evo look exactly like the GT3-RS? I thought it was a Celine S1 at first. Imagine Harold getting a Costco pizza. Look, I think the Mustang is going to survive. All this stemmed from EPA. Great question. Will it survive? Will it survive past the S650? So the S550 is still, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Unless the chassis is vastly different, it's the same. 79 to 93 is a Fox body. The 96 to 04 is kind of still a Fox body. Slightly wider rear end. You can't put a door from a 96 into a Fox from 79 to 93. So that's kind of the way I look at it. If it's not interchangeable, but then technically, can you do that with a Thunderbird, with a Grenada, with a LTD? I don't think so. So I don't know that the S650, aka S550, 2015 to 2025, so that's 10 years it's been around. The Mustang was around 79 to 93 Fox body, so that is 79, 89, 10 plus 4, 14. So it's still not the long. What is the longest running chassis ever? It's probably the Fox body. And that's a testament to how popular that chassis was. Let's get Turvy a Lotus. EcoBoost Lotus with a big turbo, 500 horsepower light, and a candle. Look, I don't know what you're talking about. Something about kilowatts. Yeah, right, exactly. Driving home in separate cars to scream alone. Yeah. Look, those of you that are married, shout out to you, but you know you've had issues in your marriage that would like bring down your whole empire. It's not worth it. It's not at 47 years old, as a man that's had 3 long-term relationships, it's not worth. To me, I just can't wait for the Robussy to come out. Just give me that Robussy, you know? And once that starts, don't give it AI. If you start giving the Robussy AI, it'll use it as a weapon. Dave Periksak would probably be done a better job than Farley. I think, okay, in all seriousness, it has to start at the top. The GTD lost to the ZR-1 in the most embarrassing way. An American track. The GT3-RS has a built-in excuse. It's severely underpowered compared to the vehicles that it was up against, but it beat the GTD. So that must hurt Jim Farley's heart a little more because the vehicle he was trying to beat the shit. He probably went up to some executives and were like, this is my baby. This is going to be my legacy. My legacy is going to be the GTD. And it's not better than any production vehicle out there right now, which tells you where leadership is at. So you need somebody that, first of all, understands the market. I don't think he understands the market at all. Why? He doubled down on EV stuff before there was a demand. Imagine you're a pizza shop and you're making pizzas you hope people buy as opposed to the pizzas that people want. You know what? I think I'm going to start putting... Look, I don't understand you motherfuckers that get olives on pizza. That you're absolutely psycho. You should go to jail. But let's say they start putting shit on pizza or a type of pizza that nobody wants. Let's say you start making Chicago deep dish style pizza in Brooklyn. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want that. Give me the thin slice shit. A Beats. Whatever. Stupid. They need to let go of Jim Farley. I'm sorry. Go back and, I don't know. I'm sure you'll be fine. You're a millionaire. You'll be fine. Just get the fuck away from Ford. Econoline's the longest running chassis. How about the Panther? Did Jared get married yet? He's good at ignoring Theo's advice. You know what? Now that I said it, he'll get married. He meant Mustang Heights. Got it. Genesis Magma GT has a Coyote powering the concept car. Don't believe. B, go listen to the debut. Wow, shake weight Kyle. Can you take an aspirin? I think the Mustang has to reinvent itself to stay competitive at its current price point. Exactly. It has to be it. The Mustang can be something smaller and more in line to what the people want. Look, again, watch iRobot. Just watch iRobot. All the cars are going to look the same. That sleek-ish, kind of sloped, low, wide. That's what the Mustang has to become. The Mustang has an outdated chassis. The ZR-1 is, the C8 is so far ahead. It's in a different galaxy. It's not even the same ballpark. You're not playing the same game when you get into a C8. I'd love to. Does anyone here? I know that EPA has a C8, but it's a twin turbo C8, so it's not a good representation. I'd love to drive one. I've never driven one. I'd love to drive one and give you my impression. No one will watch that video, but you guys will. The Amory will. That's all I care about. Garage Book Coyote says, how many vehicle fails do you think the board will allow Farley to have? How many more? Well, the F-150 Lightning failed. Why? Range. And what do people use trucks for? See, they tried to push it down your throat that this is a utility. You could have basically a rolling battery. No, dude. People use their trucks for everything. The truck is the modern station wagon. I'm old enough to remember actual station wagons, like a Delta 88 station wagon, with the seat in the back facing the cars in front of you, so you could flip them off. Remember, you were in the back. You're old, right? Are you old like me? I'm old. Were you in the back of Dad's car like this, and the seats were facing the cars behind you, and you're flipping everybody off? You get everyone in this shit. You throw all the shit in the back. You could throw a 48 by 40 pallet back there and bring a motor home. Okay? To this day, I don't know why this thing went away. This is such a badass fucking concept. Could you imagine this as a concept? A big, long station wagon car thing? Truck? Well, the F-150 basically took this thing's place. Big bed, big, comfortable, drives like a cloud, and now you put a blower on and it goes tens. So the F-150 Lightning was a loser from the start because of the charging mechanism, and the network wasn't up to snuff. And by the time that they got permission to charge at supercharging stations, and the bad reviews came out, and the price, brand new, they were $100,000 for the highest spec one. $100,000. Where Donnie's truck was what? Donnie Renfro, how much was your truck? 50? 55? An STX F-150 in 2024 that we can bolt the blower on and it goes tens. $55,000. Why would you buy a Mustang when you can have an all-wheel drive Mustang? Basically. Farley wants a Didussy. Damn. Farley's legacy is 8. Wow. No, Porsche uses wizardry and element 115 in their chassis and suspension. What about the 96 Corvette with the hood looking like a snake nose? Those are, man, this channel's not for you. It's just, I love you. Hey, what about the 96 Cobra with that hood looking like a snake nose? Those are badass. Getting rid of the Econoline as a fleet chassis was incredibly stupid. Ford should have done a modern version of 05 Ford GT instead of the GTD. Yeah, but then that's going to be what? $250,000? Well, that's the Corvette price. But again, they took one design and scaled it. They took the C8 chassis and went NA V8, dual overhead cam V8, electrified with the 6.2, E-Ray, twin turbo with all the nannies, and ZR-1X with the hybrid drive. What a feat. What an engineering marvel the C8 scaling is. The forward-thinking, this must have been planned way back in the day. You gotta give the engineers at Chevy, GM, a standing ovation, because what they did with the C8, Ford can never do in-house. Ford can never do in-house. Ford outsources their best vehicles. Ford outsources their best vehicles. You, Ford, if you're put to the challenge, you cannot build something like the C8 and scale it up the way they did. Not even close. Why? You don't even have anything that you're not willing to go through the growing pains. You're willing to throw $19 billion down the drain. Like, you wrote that shit off like it was, yeah, it's a write-off. It's all good. Hey, by the way, we're gonna go back to hybrid shit. Yeah, that 19 billion, psh, blip on the radar. No big deal. If you're a board member, you're like, I promised my Russian girlfriend that I have living in Dubai a bigger yacht, and you just took $19 billion and fucked it up. You know how wet that twat is, bro? And you're, Jim, you got one more shot. I gotta have some good ROI. I'm a board member, and that Russian chick, I'm 62 years old. I can never get a girl like that again, unless I got more money. Unreal. Oh, this thing froze. Well, come on, just hurry up and freeze so I can just reboot everything. I'll just reboot it now. Fuck it. Just reboot everything. Reboot the whole freaking stream so I can actually like get back in. I just need it to brick so I can go back to being normal. Anyway, there it is. Finally, reload. I needed to like force it to brick so I can just get back to it. It does a nice little refresh, and we're back at it. So I don't know how much time he's got, because he, as a leader and as a messenger, talks out of the both sides of his mouth. He talks a certain way when the Democrat administration is in there, and when Papi Trump is in there, he's like, "Oh yeah, gold is great. Your hair is awesome." Ford don't got a John Coletti, just a Gen Z millennial focus group. It really doesn't matter because Ford didn't do anything. Multimatic did. Hey, I love the SN95 Cobra back in the day. Wang Af. I have it on my 95 Cobra. Read the room. Right. You need to read the room shirt. A Mustang size like a BMW M2 or 1M would be effective. Get rid of the back seat. They're useless anyway. Does anyone even sit in them? No. And you can't even bang bitches back there. Corvette did the right thing. They're like, get that shit out of there. Since what? Since ever. I don't think Corvette was ever a rear seat available car. Yeah, Chevy did wonders with the C8. I hate to sound like a fanboy, but they literally are just building their offerings to go head-to-head with the 911 in each model. That is so smart. Because, Jay, you're a brand loyalist. You love the 992. You love the 911. You love the GT3. You love the GT3-RS. You love all that stuff. But you really do you appreciate what Chevy's doing with their C8s? It's really hard to root against them because it's an American car company and they're going toe-to-toe with everybody out there. Now, I wish I knew how many C8 let me see. How many C8 Corvettes sold in, I don't know, 2024? I don't think they have that number because it's weird. Holy shit. For 2024, Chevy produced and sold 42,934. Wait a minute. How many Mustangs sold in 2024? Brother. 44,000 Mustangs sold in 2024. 42,000 C8 Corvettes sold in 2024. Do we have E-rate? Do we have numbers on 2025 yet for Corvette? 25. Oh, there's September to July. Wait, no, it's not good numbers. For 2025 model year, September, Chevrolet produced 25,000, including Stingray, E-Ray, Z06, and the new ZR-1. With the Stingray, that's September to July. I'm waiting for all of 2025, so I guess total 20. It doesn't say. Doesn't have a breakdown for 2025 specifically. But I know Mustang was 30% down. I think everybody's down, to be honest with you. But the Mustang, like in 2024, that's crazy to me. No wonder I see way more C8s on the road than Mustangs. Most of those Mustangs are fleet vehicles or at Hertz Rent-A-Car. Will your ZR-1 perform parked in a parking lot? It probably will. Stingray equals Carrera, Z51 Carrera S, E-Ray GTS, Z067 GT3-RS, ZR-1 GT2-RS. Gotcha. C8 came from the Mosler. Theo, I believe that Ford has to make the Mustang mid-engine. Yes, we talked about that. But what chassis? Who? Are there even rumblings? Are there even any kind of back? Is there any renderings? Is there any? I heard the ZR-1 was going to be twin turbo something 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Have you heard the Mustang being rear engine? Because it should be happening now. Like right now, it should be happening if it's going to come out in 5 years. Unreal. What do you think Ford is going to do with the rumored Cobra? Another Whipple GT? Yeah, no, it'll be a TVS. So one of the best thing Ford does is they never offer you a Whipple from the factory. Because they know they got to warranty that shit, right? So since the beginning of time, show me a factory Ford supercharged vehicle with a Whipple rotor pack on it. They have all been eaten. Hail. E-A-T-O-N. They've all been eaten. The Cobra, the GT500, the 1314 GT500, not Roush, that's not Ford, not Celine, that's not Ford, not Shelby, that's not Ford. But Ford production vehicles that came factory supercharged since the beginning of, since the modern era. And when did the modern era start? I want to say 96. Let's say OBD2. I think Ford has offered Eaton rotor packs in all their cars. But that was counting the Mach-E as well? No. Well, damn, D-Rock. That's a great question. How many Mustangs sold in 2024? In the U.S., Ford sold, gas-powered. Approximately 44,000 traditional gas-powered Mustangs in the U.S., a decline from 23, while the electric Mach-E performed better at 51,000 units sold, making the electric version the top seller within the Mustang family for the year. So in 2024, the Mustang Mach-E sold 51,000 units, the Mustang gas-powered car, 44,000 units. 7,000 less. Unbelievable. It's the end of times. I think if you read the Bible, that's one of the first signs that like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse going to show up and just fuck everything up. It's like electric Mach-E's will outsell gas Mustangs. Imagine how badly the Mustang numbers are skewed with EcoBoost rental cars. That's what I'm thinking. Like how many sales went to Hertz? Mustang will never be rear-engined. I hate to agree with you, but I think you're right. But did you ever think Corvette was going to be rear-engined? You know, there was like a big departure when people said the European styling. Remember when the C6 Corvette came out and people hated it? No more flip-up lights. No more flip-up lights? Oh, is that really a Corvette? And those boomers stayed in Boomville with the C5. C6 comes out with the Euro lights and a whole new swath of people were like, bro, what the fuck is that? But then all those people skipped, those boomers, that skipped the C6 because of the Euro styling on the headlights were probably in the 30s when it came out. Now they're 60 and they saw the C8 and they're like, yeah, white with a red interior? Fuck yeah, I want that. I guess I'm old because Junior said that peanut butter guts is an old guy thing. I guess so. Then I'm old. Fuck it. The GTD motor is behind the front wheels. Okay, stop that. It's in front of the driver. Stop that. It's in front of the driver. See, it's also 5 years old, 2024. Mustang is all new, claims 2020. Oh, that's great. That's a great, you know, that. Thank you. See, you guys bring that into context. That a 4-year-old chassis almost sold as much as a brand new restyling of the Mustang. Mach-E had an amazing sales year in 2025. Really? How many Mustang Mach-E sold in 2025? They haven't. Get the fuck out of here. Ford Mustang Mach-E sales in 2025 showed strong growth, particularly in quarter three. In quarter three alone, they sold 20,000 units, a 51% jump from 2024. Fuck. But what are the total sales? I haven't said it yet. But, dude, in freaking quarter three, it sold 20,000 units. Unreal. Yeah, no. But then they stopped, right? Like 2025. Well, their other cars didn't sell that well. Ever see those stupid boomers who swapped the C8 rear for a circle taillights and bumper? Ugh. Chevy talked about rear engine since the beginning, but just never did it. Same people that demand a manual in the C8. Manual in the C8 is so stupid because you're going to charge them money to have, yes, a better driving experience, but less performance. The DCT is pretty good. Pretty good. It's pretty great. I remember the C7 came out and the taillights aren't round circles. Corvette sold V8s while Ford sold V6. V8 numbers for Ford suck. There's a Mach-E on Facebook for sale for near me for $20,000. Looks clean. Would be a good car for the wife. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. You're going to be on Patreon complaining about a $20,000 battery change. That's because they're blowing them out. Exactly. I feel like the Mustang should stay a muscle car. It's not a muscle car now. It's not a muscle car now. It's a sports car. What's muscle about an S550 or an S650? There's nothing muscle about the Mustang. It's like a let's say a GT, like a Mach 1, a performance package GT, a PP2 GT. You know, that's a good overall balanced car. The price is high. But let's say a manual PP2 performance package, fully loaded Mustang is not a muscle car. A muscle car is big, heavy, makes egregious horsepower, and does dumb burnouts. It's not a balanced vehicle. A Demon, a red-eye Challenger, a red-eye Challenger, Hellcat Challenger, that's a muscle car. The Mustang is a sports car. There's nothing muscle about it. Quarter three sales are probably inflated because of the tax credit that ended in September. Was the last muscle car the Mustang? It was never a muscle car. It was never a muscle car. A Torino was a muscle car. The Torino was a muscle car. It's never... The 69, I would say the Boss 429 is a muscle car, I guess. But like ever since the Fox body days, there's nothing muscle about Mustang. Now, I would never buy an EV hybrid... An EV, hybrid, sure, but not an EV. I'm just saying in general, it would be a good mom car. You're not wrong. The modern muscle car died with the Challenger. Camaro and Mustangs are not muscle cars. Haven't been for a decade. I agree. It's a grand touring car. I agree. Stuff hasn't been muscle cars for a while. I agree. My American Muscle banner makes my Mustang more muscular. Thank you, F. Camerizzi. That was very good. Very good. You've been on a bit of a lull, making me laugh, but that was super good. Yeah, so the Boss 429, I would say, is the last year the Mustang was a muscle car. Is it a 429, right? Boss 429? 429, like 60 something. 69 to 70. Yeah, absolutely. All day. This big hunk of shit This big hunk of shit that runs 12s in the quarter mile that boomers love. Boomers love this fucking thing. And I'm like, I am so bored with those 14-inch, 235, 65 14s. The fuck out of my, oh, Alex is not much. Yeah, no shit. I'm sorry. I grew up in an era where cars are fucking fast. Sorry. I apologize that I grew up in an era where cars were actually in the 12s. Big hunk of shit. Bunch of old guys right now watching the chat losing their fucking mind. Apparently this thing just fucking died. Okay, there we go. Back in the day, my muscle cars were like, yeah, right. I don't actually have an American muscle banner. I was just kidding. No one thought you did. Definition of muscle car is midsize sedan with big block. Facts. Pony car is not a muscle car. I agree. But I think the Boss 429 was a muscle car because if the Hemi Challenger and Charger were muscle cars, like was the Hemi Challenger not muscle, but the Charger was? I think the Boss 429 was muscle. The Torino was muscle. Unless you want to call that pony car. I don't know. That's an interesting argument that happens a lot online with a bunch of fucking homos that don't have the car. Was a 69, what's a muscle car? Well, Mustang hasn't been a muscle car for since I've been alive. 1978. It has pony car equals 2-seater. Okay. Got a Mach-E last month for a daily around town. Fun vehicle. Great for day-to-day bullshit. Why didn't you just get a Model 3? Like, why not a Model 3? Or a Model Y? Why did you get a Mustang Mach-E? Why didn't you get a Model Y? I would have gotten a Model Y I would have gotten a Model Y dual motor way before a Mach-E. Because, again, Ford doesn't specialize. Ford doesn't specialize in EVs. So, that's not their wheelhouse. So, you're going to have the best. If I'm going to buy an electric vehicle, I'm going to buy it from someone that makes electric vehicles. It's like having a pizza at Costco. It's all right. It's not great. 78 Mustang was a Pinto. Right. What did Starlight say? Everyone's saying Starlight's wrong. Definition of muscle car is mid-sized sedan with big blocks. Facts. No, he's wrong. Well, the Challenger is a coupe. And it doesn't have a big block. And it was a muscle car. There you go. Because he works 39.5 hours supporting the UAW, 99 and a job, and you can drive away with a brand new Mach-E. I mean, is that what they're doing? They're just giving it away? I apologize. I'm not trying to make anyone self-conscious. It's just stuff showing up that, now that I'm getting lighter, stuff's just showing up. I don't know. Even if the incentive was really high, I wouldn't buy a Mach-E. You'd have to give me free blowjobs. Because when you got a girlfriend, it's not a free blowjob, right? You got to pay for it. Meaning like dinners, gifts, rent. How many blowjobs, good ones, quality ones, like, wow, this girl loves me blowjobs. You ever have one of those and it makes you rethink everything? Yeah, I think this girl really likes me. Or she's just a cocksucker. I don't know how many blowjobs would you have to give me to buy a Mach-E. A lot. Would you rather Costco pizza or pizza on a leaf? Okay, so the pizza on a leaf thing was interesting, but nobody gets pizza on a leaf unless you watch the dating channel. Pizza on a leaf was like out of pocket. So when they said that, I went, wait, why'd you guys eat pizza on a leaf? First of all, how'd you get pizza dough? But not, how'd you make the pizza? And why would they serve it on a leaf? It's so weird. The Mustang was never a 2-seater, right? It's always been a 4-seater. The 2-seater statement is wrong. Is muscle car all about power and weight? That's a great question. Let's ask Grok. What is the definition of muscle car? Here we go. This guy's still talking that shit. Grok. Here you go. Grok. What is the definition of a muscle car? See what Grok says. I like Grok. Okay. A muscle car is generally defined as an American-made high-performance automobile, typically a two-door rear-wheel drive coupe from the 60s and 70s, equipped with a large, powerful V8 engine, super straight-line acceleration, and drag racing capability. Straight-line acceleration and drag racing capability. The term emerged in the mid-60s, often credited to the 64 Gran Turismo Omologato and the archetype mid-sized body fitted with a big block engine normally reserved for larger cars, making it affordable yet brutally fast. So the core characteristics are American origin, two-door body style, powerful engine, focused straight-line performance, affordable, and mass-produced. There you go. Two-door, powerful engine, focus on straight-line performance. Now, the debates. High-performance pony cars, ergo Mustang, Camaro, Challenger, are often included when equipped with V8s. Exclusions typically apply to pure two-seaters like Corvettes or non-American vehicles. Modern revivals are the Hellcat after saying it's not, the Camaro ZL-1 after saying it's not, and the Mustang GT500 after saying it's not. They carry the spirit of even more power, though some purists limit the classic era to 64 to 74. So, not clear, but at least you understand why people debate that topic. Stupid. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Great show. The GTD is the biggest piece of the most expensive piece of shit Ford has ever produced through Multimatic, more so than the Ford GT, getting beat by a production car by nearly 4 seconds, and a car that has 300 less horsepower by nearly 2 seconds. The GTD is an abomination, embarrassment, and I don't give a fuck if you're going to cope by saying that I can't afford it. I got an allocation. I'm somebody in the Mustang world. You bought a more expensive, less performing vehicles than its competition, the GT3-RS and the ZR-1. And don't forget the ZR-1X is over the horizon. Have a great rest of your night, guys. I will be back on Sunday morning for Peasant Chat. Again, Lund Racing is off until the 6th. Now, if you get some replies next week sometime, don't be surprised, but don't expect it. But don't be surprised. Don't expect service. We are off. For all intents and purposes, we are off. We're going to take our long vacation and enjoy ourselves, enjoy our families. And by enjoy our families, I mean my Mustangs and Fairmont and Corvette. That's what I'm going to enjoy. Hopefully, you guys will join me on Sunday. We'll talk some shit on Sunday. We will be running shows through the week. I will be on Tuesday and Thursday because I'm about getting that fucking money, the hustle, and the hustle never stops over here. Have a good rest of your night, guys. I will see you guys on Sunday for Peasant Chat.